Hello everyone, I'm the Saxy Gamer, and today we're here for yet another Civilization 6 Rise and Fall New Leader Spotlight, where today we are looking at Shaka of the Zulu. So Shaka's ability is Amabuto, and what it does is it makes it so that you can form corps and armies earlier, so you get corps at mercenaries and armies at nationalism, and in addition to that, you get +5 base combat strength to both corps and armies. So this ability actually is pretty good, especially getting corps and armies earlier is a nice touch already, but the additional +5 combat strength to corps and armies just kind of synergizes with that nicely, and kind of synergizes with a lot of the other things that Shaka has, which we'll talk about later. Amabuto is definitely a really good ability in Shaka's case, just because it works so well with the other skills he has. So his other ability is Isibongo, and what it does is it makes it so that cities with a garrison unit get +3 loyalty per turn, or +5 if the unit in the city is a corps or an army, and conquering a city with a unit will upgrade it into a corps or an army if the proper civics are unlocked. So Isibongo is, once again, a really strong ability, considering Shaka's other skills and things. The fact that you get +5 loyalty with a corps or an army is really nice, because I found that in Rise and Fall, if you're trying to play domination, it's often a really big pain to deal with loyalty after you take a city, because a lot of the times it'll flip once or twice before you're able to get it stable, especially if you go into like a Dark Age or something like that. It's a total nightmare to try to get a city stabilized with loyalty, but getting that +5 if you have a corps in the city is super nice, definitely a really nice thing. In addition, the conquering a city will, with the unit, will upgrade it to a corps and army thing. That is also really strong, because it allows you to just like pretty much double the strength of some of your units for free, just by taking a city. So I found that Isibongo is a really nice ability to have with Shaka, and it can just help you snowball into domination. So very strong leader abilities for Shaka. But let's move on to their unique unit. So the unique unit of the Zulu in Civilization 6 is, to pretty much no surprise, the Impi, because the Impi, much like the Hwacha, is kind of like a staple of the Zulu throughout the Civs, or just throughout the Civilization franchise as a whole. So the Impi is a unique unit that replaces the Pikeman. It has a melee strength of 41, which is the same as the Pikeman, a production cost of 125, which is 75 less than the Pikeman. It has 1 gold per turn maintenance cost, which is 2 less than the Pikeman. And in addition to those bonuses, it also gets an increased flanking bonus and gains XP faster. So the Impi is actually a really strong unique unit, I think. I mean, it's not overly strong, but it is still very strong. The fact that it doesn't have any strength boost over other units, like over the pikemen specifically, is kind of, it's kind of disappointing, but it kind of makes up for that in all other areas. The lower production cost is really nice, because you can spam them out really fast. The lower maintenance cost is also really nice, because just think, you could have 15 Impi, and that would be the same as having 3 pikemen in terms of gold per turn. So the lower maintenance cost is really nice if you're going to go domination with the Impi, because you won't be put into as much of a financial hole as you would if you were just rolling with pikemen. So the lower gold per turn cost is very nice. The increased flanking bonus, it's okay, but it's not like outstanding. It doesn't seem to be too high, and like overall, I haven't noticed it make too much of a difference in games that I've played. And the faster gaining of XP, it's definitely nice if you can get your Impi to survive long enough to use it. It is nice if you can, spam out a bunch of Impis, take a few cities, and then your Impis get upgraded into Impi cores, which then gain XP faster. So then you can have like high-level Impi cores that just stomp through everything. So overall, the Impi is definitely a pretty good unique unit, and one that kind of complements just the general skill set of the Zulu. Moving on to the unique district of the Zulu, we have the Ikanda, which is a special district that replaces the encampment. And the bonuses that it provides is that, for one, it is half the production cost of an encampment district, which is very nice. It also provides +1 housing, and you can train corps and armies 25% faster. And in addition to that, you can build corps and armies outright, much like you can with a harbor district. So the Ikanda is a very nice district with the Zulu. The fact that it's half the production cost allows you, if you rush bronze working in the game, you can put down an Ikanda really fast, get a lot of military units out, and go for like an early aggression thing. That's a very nice thing that you can do with the Ikanda. The +1 housing, it's nice, but I mean, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, I found. the fact that you can train cores and armies outright and 25% faster is huge, especially in the late game for the Zulu, because that is something that no other civilization will be able to do. And if you can just start spamming out a bunch of armies, you're going to be able to stomp through people like it's nobody's business. Like you'll obliterate most other armies. So overall, the Wakanda is a very strong district. It synergizes so well with the rest of the Zulu skill set. So they definitely get a lot of points for the Wakanda. So now that we've talked about the skills and unique stuff with the Zulu, let's move on to some of their strengths and weaknesses. So the first strength that I can think of is that they are strongly focused. They're strongly focused at domination, and they can do domination probably better than any other Civ in the game. I mean, it's maybe debatable, but they are definitely one of the strongest in domination. Both of their skills help domination, and they help it very well. Their unique unit helps domination, and it does a pretty good job of it, and their unique district helps domination, and it helps it very well as well. Just the fact that you can spam out Wakandas so well, you don't have to worry about loyalty as much, you get cores and armies for free, you can spam them out faster, it all just helps their domination game, and for that reason, they get a ton of points in domination. Much along the same lines as with their focus on domination, they have a good unique unit and a good unique district, so that's just some nice things. And their abilities synergize very well with their playstyle. There's nothing really like out of place like with the Mapuche that like they kind of want to play domination, but they kind of want to play culture, which doesn't really work. So they definitely get a lot of strengths coming from just their overall synergy and their amount of focus that they have on domination. Because of this domination, though, their main weakness is that they are horridly non-versatile. Whenever you're playing the Zulu, you're pretty much going to go for domination and nothing else, because nothing else really works that well. So, at least not as well as domination. So they definitely do lose some points for being non-versatile, but it's not going to affect them too much just because they are so good at domination. And now with all of this in mind, let's move on and give the Zulu their tier rankings. So if you're new to the series, I give each civilization tier rankings in each of the 4 victory types because I exclude score. So we have domination, science, culture, and religion. And tier rankings go from S to F, with S being the highest and F being really bad. So bad that it, hurts your chances of getting a particular victory or even trying to play towards that victory. So without further ado, let's rank the Zulu. So first up we have domination, and I think to no surprise they're going to get an S in domination, just because pretty much everything the Zulu has gears itself towards domination. Both of their abilities help domination, their unique unit helps domination, their unique district helps domination, and it all synergizes well to just make them like total monsters at domination. So they are definitely S tier in domination. Arguably the best domination civ in the game. Maybe not, but they're definitely within the top 3 for domination in the game. As far as science goes, I'm gonna give them a B in science. I mean, you're never going to go for a science victory, but I find that you don't really tend to fall behind in science, just because you want to keep your science up in order to play your domination, because you don't want to like fall too far behind with like units. So you want to make sure that you have enough text that your units don't fall behind and, or like an era behind the enemy's units, because then they'll get crushed. So I do find that you tend to build a few campuses whenever you're playing the Zulu, so they're not going to be falling behind in science. They're probably even going to be a little bit ahead in science, just because you want to try to get units that are an era ahead of your enemies. So you are going to be focusing science a little bit, so for that reason they get a B. You'll probably never be going for a science victory, but you probably won't be neglecting science either. As far as culture goes, I think they deserve a C in culture, just because you're not really going to focus on culture pretty much ever whenever you're playing the Zulu. I mean, they don't really have anything that hurts their culture game, but they really don't have any reason to go for culture, except for maybe to get to, mercenaries and nationalism faster, but it's really not going to be that big of a deal. So you're probably never going to build you might build, 1 or 2 theater squares, go for a few little culture things, but aside from that, you're really never going to be playing culture with the Zulu, so they get a C. And as far as religion goes, we kind of have more of the same here. They're going to get a C because you really don't want to go for religion with the Zulu. You kind of could use a religion to help, like, bolster your domination game. If you get some of the things that help give you combat strength against enemies of other religions, you could maybe get some of that, but I really don't think it's a good idea. So for that reason, they get a C in religion, because, I mean, like, there's nothing that makes them worse in religion, but there really is no reason to go for it either. So as far as their overall ranking goes, I think the Zulu deserve an A overall. Sure, they're horridly non-versatile, but at the same time, what they do very well, and they do it arguably better than any other Civ in the game. So they are a very strong Civ. You just have to watch out. If you don't want to play Domination, don't play the Zulu. But if you do want to play Domination, the Zulu are probably one of the best options you could possibly go for. So overall, they are deserving of an A. Probably one of the better Civs in Rise and Fall, actually. Probably in the top 3 of the new Civs in Rise and Fall. So thank you everyone for watching. I have been the Saxy Gamer. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're looking for more Civilization 6 content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.